I've traveled pretty extensively and been to almost all the major cities in the U.S. multiple times, and a lot of the smaller cities in between too. And there is something about Portland, man. I'm not being just biased because I'm from here, but there is something different, man. Something a little bit magical or something about the city. But yeah, we're in Northeast Portland right now. This is where I was actually born and raised. And this is actually the route that I pretty much take every Wednesday night on my way to Wicked Wednesdays for the last 20 years. Yeah, so right now I'm on my way to KBOO, which is our local community radio station here in Portland. My buddy Tim, King Tim 33 and a third, has a radio show called The Movement every Sunday night from 10 p.m. to midnight. And he invited me down tonight to kind of speak about the Wicked Wednesday anniversary party. The 19-year Wicked Wednesday anniversary party, to be specific. If we can find a parking spot.
All right, 90.7 KBOO with King 1033 and the third and Matt Fu. This is The Movement. Listen up. We've got some special guests in the house tonight. We've got Oz Rock. We've also got DJ Wicked. I'd like to thank you guys both for stopping in tonight. Now, you've also got a celebration of sorts that's coming up. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, we have the 19-year anniversary for our weekly Wicked Wednesday hip-hop event.
All right.
And that's going to be over at the Raven, which is on 31st and Sandy Boulevard. It's a free event, like always. It's free every week. We try to keep it free for the community.
Yeah.
Yo, what's up, Wicked Wednesdays? I want to thank everyone for coming out to the 19-year anniversary. We got DJ Chaos setting it off. We got a full lineup of entertainment tonight, so hang with us, get a drink, tip the bartenders. Thanks for coming out, have fun tonight, be safe, and give yourself a round of applause.
single one of you for coming out and everyone who's been supporting the movement for the last 19 years. Yeah, I don't know, man. It's a long time. 20 years is a long-ass time, but when you're just, like life, when you're just kind of, living your everyday life, and it goes by quick.
This has been 19 years running.
19 years, it's crazy, and I think it's just gonna keep moving forward.
It's been like, what, almost 20 years, 2 decades.
20 years. Wow,
20 years, to be exact, Wicked Wednesdays, and running strong.
Yeah, 20 years, what the fuck? Holy shit.
But yeah, it's our little hip-hop sanctuary, and 20 years later, who would have known that it would endure, 2 decades, especially in a city like Portland. Some of the, a lot of the MCs and whatnot in other cities, maybe they came to Portland in the, the mid 90s and stopped in a Wicked Wednesday, and, 19 years later, they come back through Portland and we haven't missed a beat, right? We're still going, and they're just like, are you serious? Wicked Wednesday is still going after all these years, It's, I don't know. I think it's a pretty respectable thing.
What do you think has kept Wicked Wednesdays going this long, 20 years?
DJ Wicked.
I've never met anyone who's loved rap and hip-hop culture as much as DJ Wicked. I mean, he's branched out over the years, but he's definitely stayed true to what he loves.
The realest hip-hop head I ever met. Wicked is about that hip-hop, 100%. He talks it, walks it, and rocks it, it's hip-hop.
He's pretty much hip-hop 24/7, because it's for real. It's not an act.
He sets the bar, really, to me. Like, DJ Wicked sets the bar as far as keeping it true, authentic, just all the principles, and even as a person, just stand-up type of guy, you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't front on Wicked, man.
DJ Wicked in our local hip-hop community is the creme de la creme of DJs. Every DJ respects him. Every DJ that I know takes his hat off and shakes his hand and says, man, amazing set every night, day in and day out.
I can speak about this dude for eons, you know what I mean? This dude is no punk in this game. He's been here, he's done it, he's never stopped, like his movement and what he stands for about this hip hop and real cutting into elements and what's real stands, it stands alone and, goes without saying.
DJ Wicked is an all-around DJ. He can rock a party. He could enter a DJ battle. He could DJ for an MC. He knows every aspect of DJ culture.
and he's a dope DJ. He's like a real DJ. You know, he can cut, scratch, transform, beat juggle with actual vinyl.
I like the way Wicked carries himself. His demeanor's cool, not braggadocious, even though he could be because he's a super crazy dope DJ. I mean, I'm from Queens, New York, and there's a lot of great DJs that I've met back in New York. As far as like what kind of caliber of DJs that I like. You know, he's like a performance DJ, a scratch DJ, a technical DJ. That's what I'm into. I mean, I respect all DJs, crafts, but I'm more into the hands-on, get busy on the turntables and the mixers, cutting it up, chopping it up to the ginsu. You know what I mean? And that's what he does.
He's always been solid, you know. He's never been one of those, you know, kind of backstabber dudes or people who talk shit behind your back. You know, so far as just a solid individual, I also respect him in that way as well. Besides just being a really dope artist, he's a good dude. So.
He's a commendable community volunteer. My favorite DJ Wicked memory is when he came out to teach the youth for free at a youth program that I was running at a summer camp. And you know, his willingness to participate is kind of the way I remember DJ Wicked.
I know that I always remember DJ Wicked as being one of the best, or not the best, out here in Portland, and one of the #1 representatives of real hip hop culture and DJ culture. And no one comes fresher than that.
For me, hip hop, I mean, it's always been a part of my entire upbringing. I was kind of raised on it. Long before I ever spent any time on the turntables, I did graffiti, breakdancing, kind of, you know, some of the other elements. Then in 1992, my senior year in high school, I was kind of actually introduced to the DJing craft. I always listened to hip hop. I was, you know, not one of those kids that was kind of raised on classic rock, and then at some point, you know, something sparked my attention. I was kind of always raised on, you know, soul, funk, the Jacksons, all that stuff. And then when I was in high school, I had a friend of mine, DJ Y-Rock. He was a couple years older than me, and he had already graduated. I went over there, and it was the first time I'd ever seen, you know, a DJ setup. He had 1200s and his mixer, and you know, it was the first time I really ever kind of got to see for myself in person what, you know, turntables look like and what it looked like to be a DJ. And anyway, man, I think that was the day that I went over to his place that I was hooked and you know, had to pursue it for myself.
How much of Wicked Wednesday do you think reflects DJ Wicked as a person?
Pretty much 100%.
Like I said, man, hip hop is something that, you know, it's such a piece of me that, yeah, I feel like it's sort of my duty to, you know, preserve the craft and the art and the culture. If you want the event to be cool and you want to do it your way, you want to choose the music, you want to choose the theme, you want to choose the venue, down to the decorations, right? It's a lot more work, but it's more satisfying too, because it can, you know, it's all done your way. You're calling all the shots.
Well, you know, he set an example. And the example is, if you want it done right, do it yourself. You know, if you're not seeing what you want to see reflected in the community at large, then you create a space and you provide that reflection for people. And if it's something that's real, then people are going to come, you know. So there's always going to be enough of us, a percentage of the people that want to hear real music and that want to be around real people.
I really appreciate him for that, you know, for keeping true to that, and not giving in to the temptation of going the Vegas route, you know, where you're just like, all right, I'm going to do the whole EDM thing and make money. You know what I mean? He sticks to his guns, and he plays what he loves. You know what I mean?
I think if I was doing it any other way, if I was just trying to get a paycheck and just, you know, I'm just going to do the pop club circuit, you know, let me go hit Dirty and Shake Bar, and I would probably be miserable, you know? I'd feel like I'm on the clock the whole time, probably watching it tick every minute of the night, and I'd probably get burned out a lot quicker.
Wicked, he just kind of like snowballed into, man, I'm a DJ, this is what I do, you know, and we need to have a home for turntablists and, you know, wizards, pretty much. You know, DJ Wicked is a turntable wizard, you know what I'm saying? He's a sorcerer of sound, you know what I mean? So obviously he had to like roll that into an event where, in a home where people could come, you know, kick it and, you know, enjoy the art and the vibes of turntable wizardry, and then, you know, sprinkle in some MCs later and some open tables for DJs to come, you know, spit their music and whatnot.
Come on, make some noise! DJ Wicked, here we go! It's the hottest
Wicked Wednesday started in 1997 at a small dive bar in Southeast Portland called Jezebel's. I think at the time, some of the weekends were already full. Wednesdays were available. We started doing every Wednesday night, and you know, here we are, almost 20 years later.
This
is DJ Wicked, justplainterror.com.
It was almost an experiment, you know. I was asked to come, you know, try a couple Wednesdays out and see where it went. And it didn't take long, you know, for Wicked Wednesdays to become that Wednesday night meeting spot for hip hop.
It's pretty dope. It's really diverse. Most of the people in my crew that I affiliate with are more on the underground tip versus the more mainstream.
If you could think of any group that was real big at the time, any one artist that was big at the time, every single person, DJ, B-boys, they all wanted to be at Wicked Wednesday.
It was just like a tastemaker lounge of all kind of different musicians and artists throughout the Portland metropolis who gathered and build, network, like it was just the hub, you know what I'm saying?
And the interesting thing, Jezebel's, I mean, if you asked 10 people what was their favorite Wicked Wednesday venue, at least 9 of them would say Jezebel's.
My favorite venue was Jezebel's.
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 Jezebel's for Wicked Wednesdays years and years and years ago.
20 years later, if you go to the old location that used to be Jezebel's, it's now a cute little rustic, trendy, hipster coffee shop. You would never know if you looked at the building and walked inside that at one point 20 years ago, this funky, nasty little grimy hole in the wall, beer stained carpet dive bar sat there and was the home for Wicked Wednesdays. You would never know that there was a piece of Portland culture that once existed there. Wicked Wednesday itself has maintained over the 20 years, but not in one venue. It's, you know, it's had to move various different locations over the years because, you know, bars and clubs come and go, and this is kind of a nature of the industry. So Jezebel's, we had like a 3-year run. It was like 97 to 2000. Then we moved to another venue called the Tonic Lounge. We were there for a couple years, and we moved to the Red Sea. After the Red Sea, we had a short stint at the Fez Ballroom for about a year. From the Fez, we went to the Viper Room. From Viper Room, we moved back downtown, the west side, to Bar 15. From Bar 15, we went over to the Greek Cuisina, which was kind of an iconic building in downtown Portland. Had the big purple octopus hanging off the side of the building. Wicked Wednesday had a really good run there. It was 2.5, 3 years, I believe. A lot of good times at that venue. Again, one of those eras. It was kind of a magical, I don't know what it was. It could be the venue itself, the location, or just the era we were in at that time. From the Greek Cuisina, we moved to Upfront Bar and Grill, I believe. After Upfront Bar and Grill, we moved back to the Jezebel's location, but they had changed the name now to Lad's Inn. Everyone was super excited about moving back to that original location. It was almost like a homecoming type of thing. And we got cut short. We were there for a year. Then without, you know, skipping a beat, right, we moved right over to the Pub at the End of the Universe in Southeast Portland. From Pub at the End of the Universe, we had that run from 2013 to 2016. 2016, current Wicked Wednesday, we're at a place called The Raven. So The Raven was formerly known as the Tonic Lounge back in 2000, which is where we did Wicked Wednesday in 2000 to 2003. So it's like, again, almost like a second homecoming again. We're back at a previous venue, new owners, new management, new name, same Wicked Wednesday. I like consistency. I like the fact that we can find a place for Wicked Wednesday and call it home and be there for the long run. So
what happened?
Well, yeah, it's just, you know, it's kind of ironic because here we are, you know, right after the 19-year anniversary celebration, and the momentum is rolling, and we're coming up on, you know, on what's to be the 20-year. So everyone's excited, and it's a new year, you know. And then New Year's Eve, you know, I get the news that the Raven, you know, the current club we're throwing the event at is shutting down. But yeah, like I said, if I can't find a new ideal venue for it within about a week, I'm gonna just do it temporarily, probably at like Valentine's or something. And we keep it moving. I mean, we'll be back up and running within a matter of weeks, guaranteed. It's just how we do it.
It's like clockwork, you know, we just set up, you know, call records like 4 blocks and shit, it don't matter. Just get it done, get it cracking.
first came out to Portland, I was looking for that raw hip hop, and I didn't know where to go. I was like new to the scene. I'm like, okay, I know it's out here. I just don't know where. I gotta find it.
You heard about Sanctuary where MCs and DJs can come and showcase and test their egos and, see what they could do with it. Got there and had it.
It was a relief to live in Portland and to identify with other people who loved hip hop as much as I did, and you could just see it and feel it.
I'm always impressed to see the crowd that's around there. It's just like the realest MCs, the realest DJs, the people who support, all the things about hip hop culture that I consider authentic.
We call it the hip hop sanctuary, right? Portland's hip hop temple. The Wicked Wednesday catchphrase is where good music and true skills are still accepted.
I would say Wicked Wednesdays is definitely that. Like it's a sanctuary because for anyone looking for like pure, authentic hip hop music, I would say Wicked Wednesdays is definitely one of the, if not the only place, I think, to go to hear that.
Well, I think the reason why Wicked Wednesdays is so great is because everyone feels comfortable. They can come get on the mic, they can DJ, they can, bring their sketchbook, just talk about hip hop. It's somewhere where you can feel comfortable to support the art,
That's gonna be DJ Wicked's place in Portland is bringing the dope music. And not only the dope music, but a place for all of us to meet up, congregate, and practice our craft.
Wicked Wednesday has always been a hub for us to look forward to every week to go and, get open. You know what I mean? Like, instrumentals are going to be banging, the mic's going to be hot. You know what I'm saying? So all the MCs always wanted to come to Wicked Wednesdays.
It's an opportunity, it's a platform, it's a cultural space where people can be fully who we are.
I don't know where some of these other guys would go on a weekly, basis to kind of showcase their skills and jump in an MC cypher or showcase their b-boy skills on the dance floor. I don't know where you would go for that. I think that's why that's one of the main reasons they come to Wicked Wednesday too, because they definitely don't all like me. I think outsiders that are either new to Portland or just coming through town or somehow stumble upon a Wicked Wednesdays for the first time. I do get that a lot. I do hear a lot of, oh my God, like you guys are still, you guys are preserving the culture and playing vinyl records and there's b-boys here.
I mean, even the music, like I can already hear the soundtrack, it's like every Wednesday, it's like it has this certain flavor, certain style. It doesn't matter how many years pass, like, it's always Wicked Wednesday and it's raw, live and uncut.
Wicked Wednesday is been preserved since the beginning. I would say if you show up to a Wicked Wednesday in 2016, you can expect to see what those first years were, It
feels like Wicked Wednesdays is like from the 80s, the way original, like the true essence of hip hop with the break dancers and the graffiti artists. And it's just nothing like that where one person has committed so much to a city and revolutionized hip hop and kept it alive at the same time,
It's been a continuous and consistent backbone, a place for real people, real hip hop heads to go and appreciate and respect and support the culture and hear real music being played and, you know, kick it with each other, have camaraderie and family. It's, if I ever feel like I need to check back in while I'm in town with the real heads, that's where I'm gonna go.
The true cats know, you know, what the real derivative of Wicked Wednesdays is, and it's not about money, and it's not about, you know, this or that. It's about the music, and it's about like a gathering of a positive movement with b-boys and b-girls and hip-hop and good music and good vibes and good energy, and that's the reason why Wicked Wednesdays sustain to this day.
And that's what we represent. It's always gonna be there. The real authentic hip-hop.
Anyway, so yeah, so now we're on the hunt for a new location. Who knows, you know, maybe we're going on the 20th year and maybe a nicer venue and a change might be good for it. I don't know.
Well, here's the thing, is I think I've seen it in many venues, and I've seen it be successful in the venues that it's in. So I believe whatever venue is decided on, it's going to continue to be successful.
Yeah, since the very beginning, since it is a weekly, you know, recurring event once a week, I think the key has been to kind of try to keep it fresh and new and different every week, so it's not just like, oh, it's the same old shit. So we try to, you know, rotate DJs through or rotate different rap acts through, or do themes, you know, any excuse, any reason to have a party, whether it be a listening party for someone's new album, a night dedicated specifically to the b-boys, a night dedicated specifically to MCs, a DJ battle the next week, you know, just something, a variety of different stuff to keep it fresh.
One of the coolest things about it is having, you know, just the DJs kind of alternate throughout the night as well, and kind of do their thing and showcase their talent as well.
Sometimes I enjoy just, you know, like the hands-on part is fun, spinning is fun, but sometimes I like to sit back and just kind of watch the other DJs and see what they bring to the table.
It would be hard-pressed to find another place in the country where on a Wednesday night you can go and you could see the art of turntablism with vinyl records, with the mixes, with the scratching, with transitions, with everything. The artistry that you're going to see with DJing at its purest form, I would be surprised if there were many places like Wicked Wednesdays on a Wednesday night. I'm positive it's not in Oregon, and I would say, you know, on the West Coast, possibly in the country.
You know, there's a lot of cool, you know, community of DJs that are all doing good things and keeping the good music on the forefront instead of, being a frilly, gimmicky, stenciled playlist DJs. There's a lot of those out there, you know what I'm saying? And they don't really care about doing the love of DJing and music like Wicked and Wicked Wednesdays. So they just want to go follow the Pied Piper of bread. You know what I mean? Like, oh, the radio station's gonna pay you this much for you to play this, so you should play this at all your events. And like, fuck that, you know what I mean?
There's always an education with that from both ends, and there's a lot of knowledge to learn, and I think that's what I was looking for from the get, is that.
It went from being a place where I loved listening to the music and seeing the DJs to where it became a school where every time I went, I always learned lessons about what it would take to be a DJ.
That's dope, because I feel like Wicked is, he's like a teacher, you know what I mean? He's educating, these new generation of kids of what good music is and what a good DJ can and should do, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, he's dedicated, and he knows, lots and lots and lots about the subject, like in-depth, awkward, obscure little facts.
I don't know, man. I just try to do my part to preserve what I love. I mean, it's what it basically comes down to.
It's hip hop, and yeah.
A lot has changed in Portland over the last 20 years. We call it Old Portland. With the recent influx of transplants from everywhere around the nation and the world that are moving here, Portland's lost a lot of that culture.
What made Portland kind of its own unique place, and the size of it it's just changed drastically, and not exactly for the better. But I'm hoping that that we can kind of just move through with it all, and keep it going. Obviously, that we've been here this long, we ain't going nowhere. But Portland has definitely changed.
Portland was so beautiful back then, man. Now it's just like whatever, because Portland is just like blew up into a bunch of craziness.
Hip hop gets, kind of a bad rap in Portland, and some shows have been shut down and things like that. But, knock on wood, Wicked Wednesdays has never really had an issue, or, it has a good reputation.
Since the beginning of Wicked Wednesdays, there was always people of all ages, all races, all religions. It was just a mess of what Portland really was and what Portland still is.
I know many people who love old school hip hop, who don't hear it on the radio, who feel as if there's no place in Portland to go experience what we get to experience on Wicked Wednesdays.
I think every city has niche scenes, and Portland has always been one where it's a small scene, but it's very true to it. You know what I mean? All the DJs are always very dope and very focused, and that's something that I always appreciated.
You know, Portland's always going to be strong. You know, we're the underdog, and we fight because we're fighting to win and we're fighting to survive. And there's a lot of people that fight because they think it's glamorous, and it's never been a glamorous road for us here. So it's forced us to be kind of gritty. And whether or not that's on the front cover of magazines, people know it all over the world. So
I remember back in the day, Portland, Oregon, where the hell is that? Like, no one even knew on the map where to find the city.
I just didn't know what to expect when, you know, as far as the hip hop scene was, you know, I didn't know what to expect. And I was, you know, I was very curious to see and hear how it was. And I think every city has its authenticity as far as DJing goes, rapping, MCing, producing goes. You just have to find your niche in your pockets, and you gotta find them. Sometimes you gotta search high, sometimes you gotta search low, but you'll find it if you meet up with the right people, and you'll find it. And I feel like I found it with Wicked Wednesdays, you know, definitely his event, for real.
Why do you think Wicked Wednesdays has gone on for nearly 20 years now?
Because DJ Wicked is passionate and committed to his craft, and he has stamina, you know, and it's something that I don't take for granted when I see it in other people. It inspires me to continue to do what I do. And it's actually only sometimes when outsiders when I hear outsiders recognize how long we've been doing what we do, that I understand, oh, this is not a hobby. You know, it's not even a job, it's like a lifestyle. It's an extension of who we are.
Absolutely, man. Wicked Wednesday is that's my baby, you know. It's Wicked Wednesday really never has been about the money. It's you know, I almost lose money every time I do Wicked Wednesday. You know, like I said, it's a passion. It's a passion thing. It's a pride thing. It's, you know, that's my baby.
You might have think that the event of Wicked Wednesdays is to stand the time, but, you know, endure the pain. But DJ Wicked has actually endured the pain of keeping Wicked Wednesdays alive, because there's times where he was just like, whatever, man, a couple people in the mix, and he's still just banging the cuts out. You know what I mean? And that's what's like, that diligence is always going to make anything win in the end, because passion will always win over anything.
To persevere and still, you know, like a lot of people, a lot of talented, great people, you know, end up having kids and lives and things, you know, stuff, you know, the ways of the world, the roller coaster of life, and, you know, and what's true to their heart, you know, they end up doing something that they hate and hating themselves, because for a man to stay true to what he loves, you know, that's what living and what life is, you know what I mean? And on that, you got to give him props.
Anyone who has the fortitude to do something for 20 years consistently, especially being involved in a situation where it isn't the most popular thing to do, it says a lot about their dedication to the culture.
Man, just the thought of doing a weekly for 20 years is insane. That's like mind-blowing, because I don't think people realize the amount of work that goes into doing a weekly.
You know, anybody else who would really do this, I mean, they might get tired of it. They might get sick of it. They might be like, man, fuck lugging these records around every single week. But, you know, like I said, that's never the case.
He has the drive to put it together and make it happen. He has the base in Portland to where people respect him and respect what his movement. So naturally the two just kind of flow together. And because he's had that and he's had that following, people know they want to have a good time, they want to go listen to some good music on a Wednesday night. That's what you do. That's where you go. So.
Wicked Wednesday, the event itself, has kind of, you know, maintained this this standard over the years. You know what you're gonna get when you go there. You know, raw hip hop, breakdancers, DJing, MCs. But what has changed is the patrons. You know, 20 years later, there are still some of the loyal, regular guys that come out. You know, I'll still see some faces pop in that I used to see in 1997 at Wicked Wednesday. But we've also, over the years, you know, kind of absorbed this whole new generation of, you know, hip hop heads and people that are involved in the nightlife scene. So, you know, it's a little new and it's a little old, all kind of coming together at one spot.
As far as the young people, I'd say there's still young people, especially in the b-boy community, that come through Wicked Wednesday and represent a younger generation than me and DJ Wicked are. And they're even bringing up and curating young kids.
They're gonna stay back for a sec, but then they're gonna slowly start to like circle around, and you're gonna see new faces, MCs coming out, DJs, and they're gonna bring their fan base.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of been sustaining over the years because there's been new interest, either younger people being introduced to it or people moving in from out of town that find it. And you can tell because like on the anniversary parties, a lot of the older people who used to go will come out. So you'll see those people, but then it's all mixed with like all these newer people. So you can kind of see at those parties like the evolution of Wicked Wednesday.
It's interesting to see because, you know, you have generations that have gone to his event, gotten older, grown up, and then now there's a whole new generation that are coming and appreciating it. You know what I mean?
You know, now everybody gets so busy and work and have to keep the lights on. It's hard to really, you know, show up every week because, you know, it goes late and sometimes you gotta get up early, you know what I mean? So you can't always make the Wicked Wednesdays.
Obviously, the older you get, your immediate social circle, your network of friends, you know, everyone's aging and having families and careers, and it just becomes more difficult to participate and come out and support all the events. It is a Wednesday night in Portland, Oregon, so it's super hit and miss in terms of the you know, the turnouts are super hit and miss. Some nights are great, some nights are slow. And, you know, some of those slow nights, you have enough of them in a row and you kind of get, you know, it can be a little discouraging. Like, you know, I wish this night would pick up and, you know, I always wish there was more people there. Yeah, I mean, like I surprised myself that it's I've still been able to maintain it all these years, you know, and if you ask me, you know, how long I think Wicked Wednesdays could go, how many years it would last, I think it'll last as long as people attend, as long as I know that there's you know, that people need it, that people want it. You know, I'm not just wasting my time or, you know, or trying to hold on to something that nobody wants anymore. You know, so yeah, so when the people, if and when the people, you know, ever stop going, you know, maybe that'll be the time to hang up the hat.
I don't think he'll ever stop. I don't think he could stop if he wanted to. It's just soaked in his blood, it's in his DNA. Like, I think he'll forever be doing this.
I totally understand why, you know, because he loves hip hop and DJing so much, he wants to keep it going, regardless who's there or who's not there, you know.
I guess I don't really dwell on, you know, how long I'm gonna do Wicked Wednesday for, you know.
Oh my God. Until he fucking dies.
Hip hop and whatnot is a very passion driven thing. So, you know, if you love it, you're not just gonna throw in the towel.
I think it can go as long as it wants to, you know. I think it could, go till the day you die, bro. I mean, they could be rocking out the old folks home, man. I mean,
I'll just go off what I know of the past and look into the future with that, perspective and say, wow, 20 years, a breeze, why not 20 more?
I mean, Wicked Wednesdays can go until, obviously Wicked moves to Miami and gets chubby, you know what I'm saying? But I doubt that's gonna happen. So, I mean, as long as Wicked is cool, you know what I'm saying? As long as he's alive, Wicked Wednesdays is probably gonna be popping.
But I know Wicked, as long as he's someone who did something for 20 years, it's probably not gonna be a stretch for them to do for 25 or 30 years as well.
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's a passion and there's still some people that want to hear it and appreciate it, I think it'll keep going.
As long as people, still respect the hip hop culture, and which I think could be forever.
I mean, you got people that maybe moved to Portland from California. They're like, where's the cypher at? Where can I go to listen to those new records? Where can I go practice my craft? And the answer is Wicked Wednesday every time.
A lot of people try to imitate that real hip hop flavor or the essence of it. I mean, people try all day. Wicked's always kept it 100% throughout this whole time. It's kept that vibe flowing.
20 years running strong, man, that's dope. That's dope. And I'm just glad to be a part of it. I'm glad to have been, just been a part of that history. Yeah.
It's definitely like, if there was a book about Portland hip hop history, it's definitely like got to be on the first page or two, because there's nothing that's shown there, represented Portland, the true essence of Portland hip hop like Wicked Wednesday has.
it's huge for hip hop in Portland. It's absolutely huge, and it belongs in the forefront of what hip hop represents here in Portland, and it's been a great representation of that.
He doesn't have a selfish agenda for doing it. His agenda for doing it is, in my opinion, to grow the hip hop culture in Portland, and he's done that.
Wicked never compromised his values and his artistic vision, and I think that's one of the most profound things about him as an artist and as a DJ, and really as a pillar of the hip hop scene here.
So yeah, that's Wicked Wednesday in a nutshell.
We will definitely be back for the 20th anniversary, and then the 25th, and then the 30th, and the 40th after that. Man, we ain't going nowhere.
It's pure. It's pure. It's not synthetic. It's very genuine. It's pure, and it's just authentic. And I like that. And it's real. I like that. Anything real, I'm with. And Wicked Wednesdays is real.
Just want to big up DJ Wicked. 20 years, that's amazing, man. So much respect and peace.
Yeah, as long as his hands work, and if not, then he can always be in the background, being that old man with the stick telling me what to do, or a younger DJ. Yeah, telling me which record to play, how to transition it in, all that stuff.
I'll go in there and I'll scratch. I've done that many a times, just out of nowhere, just, hey, fuck it, I'm drinking, I'm drunk. Man, let me scratch for a minute, let me cut it out, Wicked. And he's like, come on, hey, you know what I mean? And we get down, but then sometimes I'm like, fuck it, I want to rap, man, fuck that.
Wicked Wednesday is just straight up hip hop, whether it be from the freestyling, DJing, graffiti sometimes in the bathroom, all of it. Which they shouldn't be doing though, but.
No, she did. Or she gave me notes and I put them in my pockets. I don't remember.
Maybe. Actually, that's funny you mentioned that, because it's something that's kind of got into my mind. Maybe I can bring something like that elsewhere, and just spread the message about how I was influenced by Wicked Wednesdays to do something like that.
But I think ultimately what happens is you discover some deeper things about yourself and who you are as a person, and that's the place that hip hop takes in your life. And that as long as you're living and breathing and expressing yourself and being inspired, then hip hop is going to be a place for you to be all of those things.
A lot of people just leave because they're not into the rap part, but some people stay, and sometimes it's fun, and it's like more like a town hall meeting with a bunch of MCs just spitting, you know what I'm saying? A lot of cats, some whack, and you know, just they get their mic snatched or whatnot.
Go to Wicked Wednesdays, you know, do your thing, come out, have a good time, support the movement. Let's make this thing bigger than it ever was, all right?
You can't go back 20 years and fake the funk, or you know what I'm saying? All you can do is hope 20 years for yourself moving forward, you know, and be inspired by it.
My girl always, you know, bugs me about it. You need a, you know, normal, stable 9 to 5, and I'm like, yeah, but it's work. Trust me, you know, if she was out at 4 a.m. in the rain loading the car, coming home from the bar, she'd probably feel like it was work too.
Oh man, early on, I went to everything, and I was there from the beginning to the end, also helping bringing in crates of records and taking them out at the end of the night. And he may deny it or pretend like that never happened, but I did do that.
I mean, he have his ups and downs. There's some days, nights, whatever, where there's a lot of people there and there's some people there, and, you know. But overall, I love the joint. It just gets better and better.
Who knows what I would be doing if I wasn't doing hip hop, you know, for this long. Hard to say. I'd probably be rich.